Welcome, RUSD Nation. I'm Tom Hunt. I'm president of the Board of Trustees. On their behalf, I'm going to welcome you to our district's weekly community update. Now, please welcome our district's chief academic officer and the next superintendent come July 1 of our district, Ms. Renee Hill, to guide us through more detailed information on the return to campus and the expectations, and several other pertinent related subjects.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. And hello, community members. My name is Renee Hill. I am Chief Academic Officer and would like to introduce Assistant Superintendent Tim Walker, who will take us through our health criteria and other opening of school information that we have become accustomed to. I'd like also to take a moment to thank our virtual teachers who have been at the helm since the very beginning of school. They don't change their program type throughout the year like our in-person teachers do. However, they've been accepting students who want to join the virtual program all along and adapting their teaching and classroom practices. So I would like to thank them very much, as we also recognize our in-person staff.
Thank you, Chief Academic Officer Hill, and welcome to the community. You are going to be provided with a community update. The topics for today are going to be the 7-12 return to school requirements, graduation requirements. You'll be provided with an assessment update and also information about the program change window. In regard to the 7-12 return to school requirements, we had to meet an adjusted case rate of less than 7 in order for us to return to in-person instruction for the 7-12 group. We are currently at a 4.1 adjusted case rate per 100,000 residents. A positivity rate had to be under 8%, and we are currently at 2.3%. And the health equity metric had to be below 8% as well, and we're at a 2.4%. As you see on the right side of the slide, all of the elements required for return to 7-12 in-person instruction have been met. Students return to school on Monday, March 29th, 2 days a week for Group A, 2 days a week for Group B in the Phase 3 hybrid model. The TK6 return to school requirement had been met quite some time ago, with the students returning to Phase 2 earlier in this on March 9th. And then the adjusted case rate had to be less than 25. As previously stated, we're at 4.1 adjusted case rate per 100,000. The California Department of Public Health has changed some of their requirements. The classroom space and physical distancing within the classroom is a minimum of 3 feet between student chairs, with maintaining 6 feet during times when the student or staff are unmasked, such as lunch, or when they're in public places. Safe Schools for All dashboard is up and running on our website. Report each school's instructional model status, and also the number of students and staff for each instructional model. That's the Safe Schools for All dashboard in regard to the state. Permitted groups are band, drumline, and choir are now allowed to participate. And we are at the red tier, so currently we have a 20% capacity for any groups that would be allowed. We are looking at the athletic COVID testing. We stopped it in regard to testing for football and water polo, as we were under the 7% requirement. And we also continue to test right now for indoor sports. We will provide additional updates as we move forward. The in-person overview, as you can see, the phasing for return to school. Elementary was in Phase 2, and then on the 29th, they joined Phase 3 with the secondary. So TK through 12 all were in Phase 3 with a 2 days a week hybrid model, with Group A attending 2 days, Group B attending 2 days. The next step would be to move to Phase 4, which is 5 days a week with precautions. We are in the process of reviewing criteria for not only classrooms, but also addressing the issues of when students are in the common areas, lunch, cafeteria, and such, so that we can make recommendations in regard to when to go to phase 4. The RUSD COVID-19 public dashboard is up on our website. You can reach that. It provides information for each school and each office for any COVID positive testing. An example is provided for you here. If there's nothing on the site for a particular school or department, it's because there have been no cases of positive COVID for the last 14 days. Now that we're back in school for 2 days a week for each group, we have closure criteria that have been provided. This is in collaboration with the local health officials of Riverside. If a stable group has a confirmed case within that stable group, then that stable group is put out for quarantine and returned to distant learning. For a school, an outbreak of 25% or more of the stable groups within a 14-day period of time, or at least 3 outbreaks and more than 5% of the school population having been infected within 14 days would result in the school closure. And then on top of that, if the district had 25% or more of its schools closed within a 14-day period of time, then the school district would all return to distant learning. Our numbers continue to drop, our vaccination numbers go up, so we're looking to hopefully not run into situations where that can occur. But it is something that could happen in a stable cohort because it just requires 1 case. We're going to go over some graduation recommendations at this time. As you can see, there's a legend here that would provide for a distance of 6 feet for students. This is just a mock-up that potentially would be provided for up to 620 students on a field. The opportunity to attend graduation has been provided for us that we can do either in person, drive-through, or virtual. We are looking at, as this legend indicates, ability to do this in person. The 20% capacity at the red tier or 33% capacity at the orange tier would allow us to have a certain number of individuals that are inclusive of all the students, members of the parents of the family, as well as any required to actually run the graduation. They're all included in the overall capacity of the facility. So we are working on that currently. We will be making recommendations for how we are going to do graduation with a desire to do it in person, and more information will be provided as we move forward towards that period of time. The graduation ceremony has some requirements as well. The California Department of Public Health guidance has to be followed. Spectator capacity will be looked at very closely in regard to what we can provide for families who are interested in seeing their child graduate if we do the in-person, which we're leaning towards. And then the field capacity itself, it would be inclusive of our students as well as any faculty and individuals who are there to run the ceremony. So we have to meet the standards of the capacity that we have available to us, depending on whether we're in the red tier or the orange tier. And then additional information that comes to us as we move along in preparing for graduation ceremonies.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. The next 2 updates, the first one we'll bring into our community is regarding assessments. As parents, this will be our end of the year, or what you may have called SBAC assessments, or CASP, which is our state test that we use to measure student learning throughout the year. We are currently waiting for the California Department of Education to receive word back from the federal government regarding our waiver or our state's approach to the end of the year testing. If we are given options, we will be able to use a local assessment that we will just use in Riverside Unified for all of our students in grades 3 through 8 and 11 to just measure end of the year assessments or end of the year progress. We will be notifying our community as we move forward and make finalized plans. The last assessment is regarding our LPAC, or English Language Proficiency Exam. This is an exam we give to our English learners to measure their progress throughout the academic year. This, again, will be given this year to all English learners, and the state has extended that deadline through July 30th. So that will continue, and thank you to all of our students and staff for moving forward. The next slide is something we've been waiting on. The time is here for all of our families. This is our program change window. So for the 21-22 school year. So as families, if you would like to change the option you selected for the 21-22 school year, the time is now. You should have received an email with step-by-step directions on how to go into your Aries Parent Portal account, make a different selection that you selected in February regarding the 21-22 program selection. So this is where you'll select either in person if you would like to return to brick and mortar, the virtual school if you would like to plan for the 21-22 school year to remain 100% virtual, or if you would like to select Summit View, that again is our home-based or homeschool option for Riverside Unified. The window will be open through the 5th of April through April 12th, and then that will be closed and will be moved forward to planning for the 21-22 school year. Thank you very much, and Mr. Walker, I give it back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan Lewis. And today I'm going to give you a quick update about social emotional supports that have been provided to students both virtually and now that they are back in school. We have a comprehensive program of social emotional supports through the counselors, the psychologists, and our student assistance counselors and program, where children have an availability of getting together and meeting with or getting support from those groups of individuals. We also have supports in the virtual world for a wellness room. We have opportunities for people to get 24/7 support from Care Solace. You can see the number and the website on the slide before you. The wellness document itself that I mentioned, the Virtual Wellness Center for Family Resources, is also available at RUSD, and the bit.ly connection is available on your slide. And then there's a national crisis text line for any needs that may exist, where you can also make a phone call or text home to 741-741, and someone will respond. At this time, I'm going to turn over the presentation to Chief Academic Officer Renee Hill.
Thank you, community members. That concludes our update for this time. Our next board meeting is April 15th, at which time we will talk about our Local Control Accountability Plan, which you know as LCAP. Thank you.